Do you ever remember the boring assignments back in school? Well, in this project, we make creative, engaging alternatives. Today's assignment. Detail a survival plan for a particular apocalyptic event of your choice, be it zombie outbreak, climate disaster, alien invasion, etc., and explain the necessary skills, allies, and resources. Content will be graded not only on preparedness, but on how interesting or unique the apocalyptic event is.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so at Dylan's request, I've got some entertainment on the side, just in case, because I don't want to lose those points for engagement. I didn't fully intend to leave that there.
Oh, that is
So-
distracting.
I will be
For any-
cropping that out because that is not a part of your presentation.
I know.
Can you actually get AI to edit your slides into the center of that and have the AI voice? No.
Like ours.
No, you can close out of that. That's not a part. You did not create that video. That's not a part of your presentation.
All right, let's go, Austin. Come on.
Okay, I was gonna put that for Dylan, and everybody else can put paper over their screen like I did. I posted the picture of what my screen looked like. I fully intended to do that, but no, we can full screen it.
I'm not. This is too distracting.
All right.
let's do it.
So, my name is Austin Pipkins, and I'm here to tell you as I don't know. I'll try to make up a role.
I desperately
I'm
hope every
a
single
time-
slide just has this on it.
I'm a time traveler. Sorry, I don't want to cut anybody off, but it's totally okay. You guys can actually interrupt me. It doesn't super matter. I didn't take mine super seriously. Okay, I'm a time traveler from the year 2030, and I'm here to tell you guys how to survive the coming 5 years or so. Okay, so basically, I'm just gonna run down what just happened. Let's see some hype. Oh my gosh, are we excited? Raise your hand if you've ever survived an apocalypse. I know I have. January 1st, 2025. These fellows over here are with NOA, and I think there's another organization that I put it in the slides, but it doesn't super matter. They're whale watchers, and they have little trackers on these big fat whales, and they're reporting problems with their whale trackers. It's not really a big deal. We don't even see any articles until like a day later. That's 2 days later, January 3rd, 2025. This is the first article everybody looks back to this as being the pivotal moment where, like, holy shit, everything is going to hell. Whale devices down globally listed
Is
as
that a
a
real
top-
article that you have
Yeah, this is
screenshot?
NOAA. Oh yeah. No, this is the homepage of the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. It's the U.S. Department of Commerce. It's just this is like everybody points this as being like the epicenter. This is like the big thing that started it all. And it's stupid whale devices going down globally. Well, why do we care? Well, honestly, we don't really care until we see this. The picture seen around the world. Whales everywhere on the surface. Worldwide Fund for Nature reports several whale carcasses washed ashore in Western Canada, Pacific Northwest, and Eastern Russia. Jesus Christ. Okay, everybody, raise hands. Who wants to guess what happened to them? Come on, guys. I'm a time traveler. I already know what happens.
They died.
They did die. They for sure died. They're dead
Yes,
because it says
yes.
carcass. Good reading
Sure,
comprehension
scope
skills. So the news gets out. There's some niche internet responses, not really taken super seriously. Like, this is a meme that I found, kind of buried from 5 years ago. Your mom found sleeping. And then there's a subreddit, r/where are the whales? People kind of concerned. Anyway, January 15th, 2025, SeaWorld whales mysteriously die. The killer whales found across the world are just dead overnight. So this is the screenshot from the Wayback Machine. And an FBI actually opens an investigation for criminal intent. Hopefully it's not Light Yagami with a death note and he just, I don't know. Anyway, SeaWorld memes are kind of funny, and then Trump's attention, he makes this tweet, that stinky SeaWorld whale corpse reminds me of Kamala Harris voter fraud. January 17th, 2025, the UN announces a world committee to investigate the worldwide whale death. And January 18th, just like a slight update, I saw this on the Wikipedia page, in 2030, conspiracy theories emerge about possible solar flare linked aliens, second coming of Christ's rapture. Okay, guys, to boost my engagement, anybody have any theories on why these whales are dying?
Yeah, maybe there's a law of the universe that says necessarily the path to a second term with a guy named Trump is inversely correlated to the number of whales that are allowed to live on the earth. Maybe that's a law of the universe. That's my thought.
Trump doesn't officially become president yet. He's not president yet, and we're losing some whales because he gets inaugurated on the 20th, 2025. But I like where your brain is thinking. Reports emerge from the National Oceanic Association that they cannot locate a single living whale. What the flip? Carcasses investigators show they died of no known cause. What's going on? But there's some theories kind of going out, but it's not really that big of a deal. Oh my God! What the February 3rd, 2025? Zoos across the world losing large animals. For the first time, civilian videos show multiple animal groups' death. Zoo footage shows animal deaths spread online. China imposes digital quarantine to prevent this spreading within China. So February 3rd. This isn't just all big animals. It's specifically elephants, and then the next day we're going to get hippos and rhinoceroses. I don't know if I explicitly said that in these slides, but I think maybe the pictures might imply that. Essentially, we see that the biggest animals die first, and we're getting like live streams of this. Like just all the elephants just collapse at once, all the hippos die at once. Trend continues. Trump tweets, "Who cares about the zoo animals? This isn't Zoo Week. We need to focus on what matters, and that's China. Wake up, America." Media calls this Zoo Week from now on. Hashtag Jesus Savior trends on Twitter. Mass movement of Christians anticipating rapture. Anyway, February 5th, 2025, the UN committee posts proposed timeline based on current trends of animal death. Humans will be dead by November. Oh my god. So essentially the UN says, hey, based on the species that we're losing, it seems that we're losing the big ones first, and if this trend continues with the zoo animals, we're gonna be dead in November. And so the Christians are like, hey, wait a second, this might be the second coming of Christ. And we're gonna kind of talk about that. So first of all, before we start, does anybody want to guess if Jesus comes back in November? Hint, hint. I come from 2030, trying to get those engagement points.
Well, you didn't die,
No.
so I want.
So anyway, Honduras, Brazil, Ethiopia, Romania, they closed their borders in state of emergency after hearing the news that humanity is going to go extinct in November for no reason, and nobody can really figure out what's going on. Most people haven't really acknowledged the issue, though. It's just some obscure niche communities online, and some major protests in cities occur in response to this, like the niche people going like, what the heck? Did you literally just say that humans are going extinct in November? Yeah, they literally just said that. Federal governments mobilize military to protect key assets in Washington, D.C. Christian movements appear in size to convert people. Potential rapture. Stores running out of animal products. Oh my god, because animals are dying and other food items. Hoarding begins. Shortages worldwide. Donald Trump enacts a state of emergency based on advice from his cabinet. This puts a de facto end on the denier movement, because they're up to this point, a lot of people are like, well, it's not really a big deal. But now everybody's like, yeah, Trump said it. Trump's the Lord and Savior. February 11th, 2025, the CDC launches a cattle investigation division with the UN and EU, starting a global investigation to monitor cows to investigate how these animals are dying, because they anticipate the cows, they're going to go next by some point, and because there's so many cows, everybody's like, okay, let's get some monitors and cows. Let's talk about how we can maybe figure out why the fuck everything is dying. February 15th, 2025, the UN hosts the first World Session on Animal Extinction 2025 conference, putting forth adverse advisories on how countries should react to food shortages, unrest, and how to transition the world's population to a vegan diet if this continues. Jesus Christ. Change your diet now while it's easy, brought to you by the UN. On the 16th, news spreads like crazy. A violent social media reaction ensues, people planning resistance to food rationing. Twitter is no longer a thing. Sorry, you guys call it X. You need to stop with this ridiculous vegan commercials, all the unknown reasons. This is nonsense gone too far. Y'all need to stop encouraging this type of behavior and stupid diet. The Washington, D.C. bombing at CDC headquarters killed 60 people. The culprit is identified as a religious fundamentalist who wants to kill those responsible for wanting to ban meat consumption. It's like this idea that maybe the you will eat bugs and like it or something crowd. Everybody kind of looks down on them because they're like goofballs. They took too long. March 1st, 2025, the EU releases a mutual border agreement banning exports of animal products, making it illegal for member nations to essentially put in restrictions. On the 8th, the CDC, taking lead role of investigation, publishes a report on all well-known species and their extinction date and times. A consistent trend confirms the prediction of the UN that the big animals are going first, and based on the rate, humans are going to be in November. Oh, they released this cute little video of all animal size comparison. Texas Governor Greg Abbott proposes and passes a Texas state of emergency banning export of cattle. 6 other states follow suit. March 11th, this is in direct response to seeing some states close interstate commerce. U.S. federal government enacts martial law, deploys the military to key capital assets, also pass laws that would inhibit interstate trade. The U.S. ban on animal product export is extended indefinitely. There's Trump doing his thing. As a reaction to U.S. declaration, 92 countries begin deliberations to also ban the export of animal products. Despite being illegal in the EU, Poland and Greece also come to ban animal product exports. March 16, 2025, Russia backs out of Ukraine. Yay! Yay! Reportedly stealing more than 1,000 heads of cattle in the retreat. From the 2030 perspective, that wasn't really a big deal, but I guess it was a big deal to them because it's stuck on the Wikipedia page for this event, so I had to put that in there. The UN fails to pass a resolution on global cooperation. The US imposes travel restrictions on all but 16 countries, and we kind of see a whole bunch of countries follow suit. These are all the countries that are banned in red. The blue ones you're allowed to travel to, and the ones in white, there's no data.
Are you not allowed to travel back to the US?
No, you're basically stuck in place. Like, if you thought COVID was hard lockdown, there's a harder lockdown. The CDC, in a joint statement with the UN, issues an updated estimate for the extinction of cattle. Already mark your calendars. May 27th is when we're thinking cattle are going to be extinct. Most international travel is suspended. Only the EU is remaining open borders. Food shortages of animal products is global. And by the way, it's not really stated in here. Like, while this was happening, there was like daily news article about species dead, species dead, species dead. And a lot of them were mostly obscure, like things that don't really interact. Like, big animal from Africa is dead. Yeah, like giraffes, hippos, they all had their day in the news. But really, everybody's got their eyes on cows because that's like the big thing that everybody interacts with on an almost regular day basis. May 10th, CDC releases new statistical data on the changing diets of Americans. Let's go! Vegetarianism is up 25%, mostly due to skyrocketing cattle products cost. I meant to put cost because everything's getting super expensive. Veganism is at an all-time high, 8%. Protein efficiency rate is also bumped by 20%, mostly from the new vegans. Yeah, vegan, team vegan. Look at this girl. She's super skinny and she's healthy and she's loving her new diet. 5 businesses close voluntarily as news breaks about cattle falls. All the cattle die on May 20th, 2025. The U.S. government swiftly institutes a lockdown procedure for the next 2 weeks. Oh my God.
I've heard that before.
Just as a time traveler, I gotta say, this was so lame because, first of all, everyone online was complaining, I want my meat. Why is it so expensive? Are they trying to make us eat bugs?
Only
And there's nothing to do.
15
And nobody was on
days,
TV because they even shut down the
15
news
days, that's all it
organizations.
takes.
And then a few days later, the U.S. implements the essential workers mandate, requiring workers in key sectors of the economy to remain on job until November or face a steep penalty. November because that's the human extinction day. June 3rd, 2025, the U.S. lockdown ends. The price of beef has skyrocketed to $471 per pound, and it just continues to skyrocket until then the meat is just no good. Milk is $106 per gallon. Chicken is now close to $30 per pound because, again, we're thinking that maybe chickens are probably going to be next in the stack. Pork is close to
Why
$55
would chickens be
per
before
pound.
humans?
It's not that they're going to be before humans. We already have pretty substantial data that humans would be first, but it's like this idea that like, oh, well, if humans survive, then we still got to adjust the prices anyway. Kind of like that spiel. And like they're trying to price gouge as much as they can just because happy in the end times. All horses die, not really a big deal because, it's just a horse. This is a picture of some horse. I'm dead. Anyway, the U.S. government enacts Save Our Farmers Relief Fund to send money to farmers who lost all of their cattle. Money is to be distributed over the next 4 years. Are you kidding me? We're not going to be around in 4 years, Jen Psaki. This is really the best you got. It was a substantial amount of money. Like, I think every single farmer that can claim that they had lost cattle would be entitled to like $400,000. It would be distributed across 4 years. Everybody was dogging on the White House because they thought
before
that
you
was so funny.
proceed. Are you implying that Trump
Yes.
Puts Jen Psaki as his press secretary?
Yeah.
Yes, she's back. Jen Psaki basically tells Trump she's sorry and she wants her job back because it's a rough economy because, everybody's kind of losing their jobs and all that. Elon Musk actually pays Donald Trump directly for marriage rights of Jen Psaki, which was really weird, and that didn't go through very well. Everybody thought it was really weird and it didn't happen, but I didn't cover that because it's not relevant to the apocalypse, but yeah, anyway.
Not relevant.
Bears die, all bears, all at once, really only affects the zoos, which is a lot of people are live streaming the biggest animals at the time. So all the zoos are routinely packed with a whole bunch of news people, a whole bunch of crowds, and they're all just like, all right, are we going to be here to watch the bears die? And then you can watch live streams. Every single zoo is just crowded with film crews, and then right when the bears die, they pack up their equipment and move over to the next exhibit.
If this was truly happening, we would 1,000% do that.
Any day now until pigs go. Just like a little...
No, not the bacon.
Warning.
Not the bacon.
September 22nd, this is the first of a long series of power outages because after we lost pigs, there was a massive kind of panic. It wasn't like protests or anything, but just people like losing morale because it's like people are kind of coming up. And we call it H Day. H Day is approaching. Power plant workers just not showing up because it's like, why work for essential services if we're literally going to die in a few months? So yeah, we're going to get power outages. I'm not going to talk about every one of them, but this was the first big one. September 30th, 2025, shortages are a very common thing. Food supplies are very scarce. Lots of people not showing up to work to be with family. Churches are routinely packed for the second coming of Christ, not just on Sunday. Every single day of the week, people are just packed around churches. People who are lifelong atheists are trying to memorize as many Bible verses as they can, trying to do as many good works as they can. A lot of charity, rich people donating a lot of their money. They're like born again Christian. Like the number of Christians who are quote unquote born again, oh my God, massive. Just like we're talking like more than 50% of the population genuinely Christian, genuinely showing up to church multiple times a week. 50%.
Okay, so they're doing good
massive.
deeds out of the kindness of their heart, not because they think it's going to get them into heaven.
Oh no, it's because they're terrified that they're all going to die. And now that there might be evidence of Christ killing all the creatures on earth, it kind of looks like Revelations, like, oh man, the end is near. We need to hunker down because now we know that Jesus is coming November. Do they know, quote unquote? We don't know. We don't know in the presentation yet. Anybody want to guess if he comes back? Anybody? Maybe you can tell by the tone of my voice that I think these guys are kind of silly, but it's okay. The new H-Day predicted range is somewhere between October 10th and October 25th. Yeah, it actually came earlier.
That's
because we got more data from the cows and the bears. Yeah, so like people are like really freaking out, like, oh my God, Jesus, is he getting antsy? Oh no. And October 22nd, all the sheep disappear. According to the estimates, this would suggest that humans have been skipped down among the religions of the new Christ. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Friendship with Jesus now ended. Now emptiness is my best friend. Because maybe, and like there's some talk about like, oh, Jesus saved us from the massacre from the devil, but yeah, people are kind of like disillusioned now. Like that was that was not cool, guys. And then like the Pope kind of loses a lot of influence because he said that Jesus would be coming back. November 8th, all goats die. Goats basically for sure like no rapture coming up because they're even smaller than humans, even smaller than a sheep. New narrative kind of emerges that Jesus is protecting humanity. I swear. But now that the Pope kind of was caught with his pants around the ankles, kind of not looking good for religion at this point. December 4th, 2025, hailed as humanity's best friends last Christmas. Projected to be the last one for the new year. This might be our pupper's last Christmas. And just as you guessed, yeah, just a few days later, all dogs die. A national day of mourning is called for the end of dog kind. Crematories are booked out for multiple months in advance. And this is what the cemetery just outside of New York looks like because everybody decided to put their dog in a cemetery and make elaborate little funerals for them. And we put them all in the same spot just so we can get these cool pictures. February 4th, 2026, all cats die. Memes online about the oppressed cats not getting their own day of mourning because the US just doesn't care. My face when the slobbery stinky dog gets a holiday, but not me. I love cats. Why the fuck don't they also get a day? Please join r/justice for cats to protest for favorite animal. So yeah, a whole bunch of memes about like just cats not getting the respect they deserve. The White House actually gave like a whole ceremony like this being a national holiday. But Cat Day, no, nothing for cats. Absolutely nothing. This is a dead cat. Actually, spoiler, it's not. It's actually a cat playing dead. I thought that was funny. The government again institutes a 2-week lockdown in prep for Chicken Day. This is massive, by the way, because like this is like really the last sorts of animal product. By this point, you basically have to be rich or vegan to survive. Egg price is already at $68 per dozen. But again, like all the chickens are going to be dead, and the corpses don't disappear. It's just I've got a whole bunch of chicken corpses we got to eat. But once those are eaten, it's basically gonzo. August 18th, 2026, bugs start dying off. More than 85% of the world's population is now vegan and not like toys. These are the skinny people who are like still 2026.
So you're saying that all chickens are supposed to be dead. The jump from chickens to bugs just feels like a really big jump for me.
It's a big jump because it takes a long time to notice that bugs are starting to disappear because it's like first we lose like the Hercules beetle, and then we lose some snakes, and then we lose like I'm skipping a lot of species that got deleted, but just know that as species, as the cutoff gets smaller and smaller, there are more and more species to call off. 95% of the population, and this is like new vegans, like people who just didn't prepare, and they're like, there's literally nothing to eat, and they're like, I don't want to eat my tofu, I don't want to eat my rice. Shut up. Now we're in 2027. Earthworms die. This is like a big event because there's warning of crop failures will devastate the supply chain in the coming years. We're kind of to the halfway point between now and when I came back here. The UN issues a proclamation to reduce the world's population by curbing population growth. It's actually called the None-Child Policy. So it's the idea that you should get married, fall in love, and tie your tubes. That's like a big thing that everybody like the None-Child nation, and it's basically like US wants free healthcare. Yeah, they got free healthcare, free snips. Actually mandatory in some states like Alabama. News of crop failures grows because of lack of earthworms. This is really sad. Like we're getting famines now. 20% of the world is now under famine, and this is primarily because like we don't have to grow animals, we don't have to grow food for animals anymore, but the food that we're growing is a lot weaker because no earthworms, no bugs, no pollinators. 100 million people have died, mostly from the third world, and nutritional deficiencies are stacking like crazy because B12, like we can get B12, we have the B12 pills, but how are we going to get it to your mud hut in the middle of Africa? No, we're not. You're going to die. Bees die in mass, no more honey. March 18th, 2028, zooplankton die. Live streams of the world's smallest animal, a jellyfish parasite, flood the internet. Multi-millions of people are watching the last animals die from humans, except for humans, are wiped in an instant. Humanity is the last species of animal. I didn't put that, but plants are still around. January 1st, 2029, global CO2 levels are dropping drastically due to the lack of zooplankton producing it. CO2 is accumulating in the atmosphere. Plants are harder to grow because they need that beautiful CO2 that the zooplankton were making. And it's the coldest winter since 1876 because we're consuming blah blah blah. Yeah. So this is rough, pal. Donald Trump tweets out, coldest winter yet. We defeated climate change. Not that it ever existed. Hoax. Fire up more coal plants, please.
Obviously, that's not too.
Okay, and in conclusion, how do you survive? I beg you, be vegan, because a lot of people just did not like adapting their behaviors, and there's a whole fussy like, I can't give up. I'm not gonna eat no vegetables. I'm not gonna eat. Yeah, you have to eat vegetables. You're gonna fucking die. So just make it easy. Like you've got I think another 3 or 4 months before prices go up. So just get used to it now. That's it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I just take your time machine and then I never have to run out of animal meat?
Nope. Unfortunately, it is a zappy kind of time machine, so it zaps you, and then only I'm back. So the time machine is still in 2030.
Oh shoot! I'll just wait till then, and then I'll grab 4. You can use it, and then I will go back and to 1970 and live the rest of my days like that.
I was going to suggest that this person with a blue profile picture is actually Max from the future.
No.
Talk
Oh,
me through a
I
voice
no.
modulator.
I was saying I'll grab it for you, but it didn't take me back to
Oh, no.
1970.
That clearly didn't happen because otherwise you'd be here and I'm here, so that means you failed. Haha, let's all point
Well,
and
I'm
laugh
going
at
to
Max
try
Hey,
to
can,
anyway.
can we actually talk really
2030.
briefly about how your time machine works?
Oh, let's
we-
focus on the
No.
focus on the actual apocalypse. Okay, guys. Did you ever find out what was actually causing it all?
No, we didn't, which is kind of unfortunate. So like, there's still theories about like, oh, maybe it's aliens, maybe it's like I don't know. There was all dumb theories, but nobody really knows. Maybe there's a god out there punishing us for maybe the animal holocaust that the vegans have been warning us for all these years, and nobody really paid attention to until I started paying attention to them. But yeah, we don't know. Some good questions to ask, by the way. I'll just ask some questions to answer them. What happened to my 600-pound life? It got canceled because everybody lost so much weight on a vegan diet. They don't sell pentuple XL shirts anymore. It only goes up to XL shirts, XXL shirts.
Even that's a lot.
In my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
But-
important question. Does Trump
Yep.
just publicly spend tons of money to continue eating meat? Because there's no way he'd be vegan.
Eventually, you have to switch because like
How is
people
he
are just going to be buying them,
to
and like
eat in 2029? There's no way he'd switch.
he
There's no
becomes
way.
vegan, but
I
not
don't
by his
believe
own
it.
choice. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Mm.
But
he does become
he's the
vegan.
last. Basically,
and
he's the last person to eat meat, right?
Yeah, he probably would be. It wasn't official who's the last person to eat meat because there's probably some freezer out there that still has meat, and they're still rationing it. Yeah, having a little crumble every once in a while, but yeah, no vegan. He became vegan, and he tweeted about it He was like, "Oh man, trying tofu today. God, this sure sucks. Hope Jesus comes back and gives us cows again. Hashtag true believer." It's like, shut up. You're not getting your cow back, pal. Yeah, so like I had all of this just ready to go with all the dates that certain animals leave. But my presentation was already like 90% done content-wise. I just needed pictures, and I just didn't have the time to
Sure.
make it super nice. So I was like, you could tell though. So any other questions about your future?
What does the 2028 U.S. election look like? He would still be president in January 2029, but he would be very shortly, at least by the current law of the land, be on his way out.
Third term, baby.
There's a hilarious story, and you can probably already guess what's going to happen, but Trump essentially says we need to do away with that constitutional amendment that limits president's terms to 2 terms, and we're actually going to amend it to 3 terms. And because he was the oldest candidate running, everybody just said he's it. This is the one.
What?
And so it was a unanimous landslide. He won with 60% of the votes for his 3rd term.
Crazy logic, to be honest.
So that
They're
would
like,
mean
yes,
he would be
let's
president through being, let's see.
2025 presidency must have been really, really good.
navigated the
So I do wanna
disappearing
say-
pig crisis.
Yeah, in campaigning, he did promise to bring the cows back. He believed him.
I believe
That's hilarious.
So that would mean in what,
Bring
2033?
cows.
Yeah, he's old,
He'd be
and I'm not sure if
87.
he's going to win re-election
87 or
because
88 as far as he goes president. So he's almost
Yeah.
to his 90s whenever he.
So, yeah, I doubt that he's going to get a 4th term because he promised a roadmap of when he would be getting certain animals back. Like he would have like 100 million cows by late like January 20th, 2029. Like he said, first day in office, I'm going to bring the cows back. I'm going to bring back 100 million cows. And then he said like there's going to be like there's a lot of frustration that like he promised day 1 he'd bring them back, but no, he didn't. And then like the anticipation just kept growing and growing. He's like, okay, actually not first day. It'll be the 10th day. Actually, it'll be the 6-month mark. And then yeah, people aren't happy with him not bringing the cows back. So the boomer population that would have elected him for a 4th term, not strong. So who knows what's going to happen? Again, I'm only from 2030, so I'm in the 1st year of his 3rd term in office. So
Gotcha.
just my guess. I don't think it's going to last. 4th.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
let's see the
Austin,
main-
we
Not
just
many.
monitor.
that was like a third into your presentation.
Whales alive, January. Time till America is great again. Again? Yep. The vegans. Yep. May 2026. No, not a junior. That one was really good.
Very cool.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Go ahead and give us ideas on what we should do next.